Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Ivy and I have an exciting exciting for me, but hopefully exciting for you, new little mini series that I'm going to do here on my channel. And it's going to be titled, of course you saw it because you clicked on the thumbnail, but My Perfect Day In. Okay, that is the title of the little mini series, My Perfect Day In. And today's episode, should I call it an episode? Sure, why not? Today's episode is going to be my perfect day in the Magic Kingdom. So this series is going to consist of my perfect day in all 4 of the Walt Disney World parks. We're going to go to Disney Springs. We're going to go to the resorts. This is just me dreaming. This is my daydream of what my perfect day in would look like. Unfortunately, we do not have a Disney trip on the books right now. We have been twice, both in 2017 and in 2019, both pre-pandemic. It was a whole different world there, quite literally, both the literal world and Disney World. Very different atmospheres than it is today. I think it's finally coming back a little bit to some normalcy. But we were supposed to go in 21. Things didn't pan out. Tried to plan one this year, didn't pan out. And that is okay, because as soon as we do get to go back, it's going to be just bing, bang, boom, ready to go, because I know exactly what our family wants to do. So I'm no expert by any means. I'm just a Disney lover, hopefully just like you. That's the reason you clicked on this video. Let's daydream together. Let's plan our perfect day in Walt Disney World. Throughout this video series, and specifically today, let's plan our perfect day in the Magic Kingdom. All right, so just jumping right in, I have my list here. It's actually just a super rough guideline for me because we're just gonna see how this flows and goes. I started out doing like, this is step 1, this is step 2, and then I couldn't make it there because anybody that's ever been to Disney World knows that you should have a plan, but it should also be a very flexible plan, because things are not going to go as planned. No matter what you do beforehand, how much time and effort you put into it, you have to stay flexible in Disney World because you're not the only one there. Okay, let me just take a quick step back. For us, our very first trip, we were the only ones in Disney World. Now, not literally, but in my mind, we were just in oblivion. We were in the dream world that it was, and it was so perfect and beautiful. Our second trip was not cupcakes and roses. So it was fun and we had a great time, but I think we were just so comparing it to our first trip that it just made it so different. And so here we go, thinking about just the perfect day. What would it look like? To me, it's going to look a lot like my first trip to Disney World because it was so perfect. Everything about it was just glorious and wonderful. And I'm sure things went wrong, but I can't think of anything because it was just so we were just so happy to be there. And I think that that's a huge part of it, was just our level of happiness. Now, don't get me wrong, we were very happy to be there the second time, but things just kept going wrong. It was just crazy. We did vlog those trips, so if you're interested, you can go watch them. It was definitely at the very beginning of my YouTube journey. My camera work is not the best. My editing was not the best, but I tried real hard and I am very proud of those videos and I enjoy them. Still watch them back today. So go check them out. 2019, our second trip to Disney World. You'll see some of the things that went wrong. Okay, so again, I kind of had to leave my thing a little footloose and fancy free because that's how you have to be. You really have to leave yourself available for plans to change. And so the things that I wrote down, I started to write the plan, and then I started talking about food, and our trips are very food heavy. So that's a huge part of it. So I really wanted to make sure I got those right. Everything else is just bonus for us. So Magic Kingdom. Love Magic Kingdom. If you ask me what my favorite Walt Disney World park is, I'm going to say yes, because I love all the Disney parks. It's really crazy. We didn't go to Epcot our first trip, but we did our second, and it was fun and it was fine. That's probably on the bottom of our list, but we also haven't explored it as much. Love, love, love Hollywood Studios. and there's so much new from the last time we went. Love Animal Kingdom. Scotty would quickly tell you Animal Kingdom is his favorite. We love animals. We love nature. Yes, Animal Kingdom's awesome. But Magic Kingdom. Guys, it is where the princesses are. It's where Mickey is. It's where the castle is. Sorry, my ring light's kind of reflecting on that picture up there. It's the magic, because it is Magic Kingdom. And there is something so magical about that park. And I will tell you, people say all the time, oh, you're so lucky you went to Walt Disney World. We saved a long time to get to go. I was 35 years old before we got to go. So it's an expensive trip. We know this, we realize it. But if you want to go, make it happen, because the earliest morning hours, standing in front of Cinderella Castle, just weeping because of the joy of being there. My kids looked at me and they're like, Mama, are you crying? I'm like, yes, I don't know why. I think it's just because I've dreamed of it for so long. And there I was standing in front of the castle. It was so early in the morning. Was this our first day in Magic Kingdom? Yes, this was. And we got there so early, way before park hours, way before opening. Back then, early magic, or what were they called? Extra magic hours were like an hour or more before the park opened. And we were there even before the extra magic hours started. Now I think extra magic hours are like 30 minutes, you know, but so we were there super duper early. We hit the PhotoPass photographers on Main Street. It was so beautiful with that morning sunlight. We walked down to the castle. We literally stood in front of the stage. Let's see, where is the picture? Oh, it's at my school. I can put it on the screen. One of my absolute favorite pictures of all of Walt Disney World was us. It's a selfie standing right in front of the castle. And it was just so magical. And then the welcome show, the morning show comes, and out comes the man himself, Mickey Mouse. And it was just everything that I had dreamed, you know, and it was just so wonderful. So y'all, I hope this video is not going to be like 48 minutes long, because I'm already talked for 8 minutes. Okay, let's try and scale it back. I could tell you every detail. But those early morning hours are definitely part of my perfect day in the Magic Kingdom. Getting up early. Like, I am not a morning person on normal days, but I am on Disney days. You've seen those shirts. That's 100% me. But getting up early and getting into the park with fewer crowds to just see Main Street, come around that corner, see the castle. It's a different feeling. It's so precious to me. So that is definitely the start of my perfect Disney day. If you get there early enough before the crowds gather at the Main Street Bakery, go in and get a coffee and maybe a food item there. I have a lot of other food items, but the breakfast sandwiches are great there, and we've eaten them there multiple times, and they're great. But they're Starbucks sandwiches that you can get anywhere in the world, I think. I think they're Starbucks everywhere. So there's nothing super duper unique about them, nor the coffee. But to have a coffee while on Main Street, it's just really precious. The first year we went, we didn't do that on the first day. The second time we went, we got that coffee first thing in the morning, and it was really, really, really special and precious. So then you watch the open show, the morning show. You see the man, he comes out, and his lady Minnie, you know, they have their nice little musical show. What next? Well, now you're in, let's go have some breakfast. So you can take advantage of those low crowds and go jump on some of the longer wait rides for the day. Absolutely. Highly recommend that if you are a ride person. We are ride people, don't get me wrong, but we're more of thrill ride people, and there are not super thrill rides in the Magic Kingdom or in all of Walt Disney World. Even the most thrilling thrill ride has nothing to compare to our local theme park thrill rides. So to us, those rides are fun and they're cute and they're very, you know, quintessential Disney feel, and you get all the feels riding them because you're like so immersed into the movie and everything. So we will ride rides when we can. Of course, Fast Pass is no longer a thing. We don't plan on next time we go purchasing Genie Plus. I don't want to be on my phone all the time. I watch all these videos. I know they say you don't have to, but I'm not interested. I'm really not. I might, and we'll cover that when we get to some other parks. I might purchase the like individual lightning lane. You can pay to get to the front of that line. on some of the rides, especially the newer ones we haven't ridden, but I've got a few other tricks for you for the other rides that aren't on those. So I don't plan on getting Disney Plus. Not, did I have a call it Disney Plus this whole time? Genie Plus is actually the word I'm looking for. I don't plan on getting that. So we plan on just moseying around. So that's going to be part of my perfect day, not being on my phone. You know, I'm a vlogger. I will probably have my phone out vlogging stuff, but I want to be with my family. Like, we've saved and scrimped and everything to get there. My perfect day is spending time with my family. So I don't want Genie Plus. Not going to be part of that. So yes, we might wander around and jump on a few lower weight rides. That's how we did Winnie the Pooh last year, because it was early morning and all the crowds really went to those big weight lines. We went and knocked out a bunch of the little stuff, and that was a lot of fun for us. So grab a Winnie the Pooh ride, go on the teacups, which I'm not a teacup person, so I haven't ridden them. Maybe Dumbo, some of the very like quintessential Disney rides. Jungle Cruise is super duper fun. Pirates of the Caribbean. So jump on a few rides first thing in the morning when the crowds are lower. Yes, do that. Go for it. So, but breakfast is definitely something that we're going to tackle first thing in the morning. And I kind of have a tip for that later on too, but breakfast. If we were going to eat breakfast, again, we did eat at Starbucks and we probably will again, but I want to go to Gaston's Tavern and get a Gaston's cinnamon roll. Have not had one yet, but I make them at home. Not sure if it's a true official Disney recipe, but they are incredible. Best cinnamon rolls you'll ever eat. So I want to have an official one from Disney World and get a Gaston cinnamon roll. And then I'm going to have to look at my list because I don't know what I wrote down. Oh, I know. Sleepy Hollow. So you go up to the castle before, well, kind of when you're in the hub by the partner statue, if you go left and kind of cross the bridge towards Adventureland, okay, wait, let's see. Do you cross the bridge to Adventureland? No, you don't go that way. You go more straight. You're going to go into Liberty Square. Just over the bridge, there's a little building and it's Sleepy Hollow, I think refreshments, something like that. They have the best like waffle sandwiches. So like I got the waffle, like the big, huge Mickey waffle with strawberries and whipped cream. It was good. It was fine. I would have rather had fresh fruit than like the macerated strawberries, but it was good. Riley got the Nutella and fruit waffle. I will get that next time. Oh, it was so, so, so good. Delicious treats. One of my favorite treats came from there. I'll talk about that later. They don't have it anymore. Heartbreaker. But that is definitely on the list. And number one on my list for breakfast is Be Our Guest breakfast. So Be Our Guest breakfast is delicious. It's simple. It's just like, you get like a tray of pastries and you get like these little muffins and croissants and things like that. And then you order your entree and you get, it's kind of just like a buffet, not buffet. What do they call it? Bounty platter. Yeah, like a bounty platter. So you have like the eggs and the potatoes and the meat and whatever. But there are several different options of things you can order for breakfast. It is cheaper. So if you want to get into the Beast Castle, go for breakfast. It's cheaper. It's delicious. It's beautiful in there. You want to go to the Beast Castle. So that's not really even the question. You do want to go. So if you need a lower price point, go at breakfast. You won't be disappointed. It's a good price point. I think the mistake we made is we went in before park hours opened. And by the time we were done with our breakfast, the park had opened and everybody went to lines. So I'm not sure that I would do that again. I was trying to save those precious park hours by going in before the park opened, but it didn't give us too much of an advantage. Give it a try. Get the earliest reservation possible. And if you get out of there quickly, you might be able to jump in Seven Dwarfs Mine Train before the whole park gets there because it's super duper close in proximity. But Be Our Guest breakfast is so good and it's so beautiful in the Beast Castle. So I highly recommend that. We've eaten in, I think, all three rooms. No, I think we've just eaten in the Grand Ballroom twice and then the West Wing once, which is like the Beast's room. Okay, so then after breakfast, we're going to mosey around. We're going to let that food settle. We're going to go catch a few shows. My absolute favorite is Mickey's PhilharMagic. It is so, so, so good. Definitely go to Mickey's PhilharMagic. It's a 3D, it's actually a 4D. It's like sights, smells, and sounds. Is that 4D? Yeah, because it like sticks out at you, right? So I love Mickey's PhilharMagic. So definitely take that in. Not too many shows first thing in the morning. Save those for the afternoon when it gets super duper hot in Florida. But that's on my perfect day list is Mickey's PhilharMagic. So catching that early in the morning would actually make me very happy. Maybe grab another line. You know, we're spending family time. So if we have to wait for 30 plus minutes to go ride Peter Pan, we'll do that. That'll be just fine. I'm not too upset to stand in a line for too long. Of course, I don't want to spend my entire day in lines. There's enough to do that you don't have to spend your entire day in line. Atmosphere is everything to me. Like, I love just taking in the sights and sounds. Scotty and I specifically are people watchers. Scotty's my husband. We are people watchers. So we could sit on a bench and watch people. That's fun for us. And so just milling around the park and looking in the shops and just seeing the architecture of the building. My husband is very into architecture. We can make a perfect day very easily without doing anything, you know, like without having to go and do things. We can just explore. We've been twice to Disney World as a whole, but we've been in the Magic Kingdom, I don't know how many times. Like, we would come in and out and go park hop and do different things. And we had multiple days, specifically Magic Kingdom, on all of our trips or both of our trips. And so we've been in the Magic Kingdom a lot. We have not done everything or eaten everything or seen everything. So there's no wrong way to do the Magic Kingdom. Guarantee you. It's whatever you hold precious to you. So we've spent our morning, we've meandered around, we've looked in some shops, gone to some shows, maybe ridden a ride once our breakfast has settled. So now we're going to have some lunch. Every day is different in Disney. Some days you're going to get a reservation for a sit down. Some days you're not going to. Some days you're going to be still so full from breakfast, you are not going to eat lunch and you're going to skip right to dinner. That's that other tip I was going to say. If you plan your day just right and eat a late breakfast and then an early dinner, you don't have to eat lunch. You can skip that lunchtime period. Have a snack in the middle of the day. Go get a Mickey pretzel. Go get an ice cream. It's your vacation. You do whatever you want. And then have another snack at nighttime before you head back to your resort or at your resort. We've done that too. So lunch, it's a big old question mark is whether or not we're actually going to have lunch that day. Depends on what time's breakfast and what time's dinner. But for my lunch options that I've written down here, Columbia Harbor House. We really enjoyed our lunch at Columbia Harbor House. It's fried food. It was fried shrimp, fried chicken, like chicken strips, hush puppies. I think there was like fried fish. Like, it's like you get the trio. It was really good. Like, we really like shrimp. They have a lobster roll. They have a whole lot of different things. For the value of a quick service, like, you get a big portion and it's very delicious. So Columbia Harbor House would definitely be on a perfect day. It'd add to it. Pecos Bills, we really enjoyed that. We'd get a burrito bowl there and they are huge. Definitely shareable if you're not like super hungry. Or if you have two kids, they could share one burrito bowl. Like, it's really easy to share at Pecos Bills. So those are like my two quick service ones. Honorable mention is for sure Pinocchio Village House. Like, we really liked the flatbread pizzas that they had. They were super good. I know they get a lot of hate, but they were delicious. Like, I had the margarita, which is like the big chunks of mozzarella cheese and the red sauce and stuff. And I can't remember what the family had. Maybe like an Alfredo or something. They were both and all really, really good. So I think Scotty got the chicken parm there. It was good. So for quick service Italian, give it a try. It's really good if that's something you enjoy. And then other honorable mention. Oh, Cosmic Rays. We ate at Cosmic Rays. It's fine. If you want burgers and fries, it's fine. Riley had a mac and cheese burger. It was pretty interesting. We can get burgers and fries anywhere in the world, so that's not, high on our list, but we did eat there and it was fine. I wouldn't mind eating at Casey's Corner. That may be a little more of a snacky item, but that's kind of iconic, Casey's Corner there in Disney World. So those are my lunch thoughts for my perfect day. And then after lunch, more just moseying around. Definitely riding the people mover. That is probably the best way to spend your afternoon after eating lunch. You just laze through, you get a nice cool breeze, you go in and out of buildings, you see Tomorrowland, you see Fantasyland, you see the castle, so perfectly beautiful. Riding the people mover at least once and possibly more than once is part of my perfect day. And then, I don't know, maybe we go take a spin on Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin, little healthy competition for the afternoon, family time. And like I said, rides aren't the super most important to us. We might catch the friendship fair on the stage. It's got a cute little show on the castle stage. And then it's going to hit around 3 o'clock. We're going to head back to Frontierland and we are going to see the Festival of Fantasy Parade. I love the Festival of Fantasy Parade. Every single time I will stop and listen to that music if it's ever on. I will watch any video that people put out of the Festival of Fantasy Parade. My own memories of it are just precious. I love that parade. We've watched it in Frontierland both times we've been. Every time we've seen it, I do believe we've seen it from Frontierland. That's where it kicks off. So by the time you're done with it, it's like probably not even halfway through and you can get back on with your day. Now, I will say, I would love to watch it in front of the castle. It's probably bonkers up there with like 4,000 million people, however many capacity Magic Kingdom has. But I think it would probably be just super epic to see the parade in front of the castle. So one day I might brave the crowds, but on this perfect day, we're going to watch it from Frontierland, just like we have. It's kind of tradition, and that will be really fun. Then after that, we're probably going to head right over to Thunder Mountain, ride the big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Probably my favorite roller coaster. It's just so fun. It's very long, and it's just super fun. That's my choice for that area and time frame of the park. So again, we'll just kind of mosey around the afternoon. We might take in another show, maybe the Hall of Presidents. I weirdly like that one. I like history. The animatronics are cool. Probably take that one in. The Carousel of Progress, another one. It's 20 something minutes long, I think. So it's in the air conditioning. It's very interesting. Again, the history of it. Walt Disney worked on this himself. And I love the history of all of the Disney stuff. I'm kind of a history nerd. So especially when it comes to Disney history, I think that that's a perfect addition to the afternoon. Then we're moseying a little bit towards the afternoon. We might ride, or towards the evening, we might ride the train if it ever opens back up. Get on the train and take a nice tour around the entire park. I don't know exactly how we'll fill our whole afternoon. We might just go sit out in front of the Plaza Ice Cream, and that you have a perfect view of the castle and the hub. Get another coffee, sit there and eat an ice cream or something like that. My most favorite snack that I alluded to earlier from Sleepy Hollow was the churro ice cream sandwich. It was so good. Never got any love. I never heard anybody talking about it on videos, and it does not exist anymore. I looked it up before I recorded this video because I wanted to see if they still offered it, and they don't. So hopefully they bring that back. But maybe grab a Dole Whip, sit over in Adventureland, watch people get spit on by the camel. Again, people watching is a lot of fun for us. So that gets us pretty far into the nighttime. And so we're starting to think about dinner again, maybe, possibly. Did we have lunch? Did we have a bunch of snacks? Who knows? But if we're going to have a dinner, here's my options. And I literally wrote it on here, depending on breakfast and lunch, maybe nothing, maybe just some snacks. But the one choice that I wrote down for dinner that I would love to experience is Cinderella's Royal Table. Now, I've heard the food's terrible. It is overrated. It's too expensive for what it is. I want to get in that castle. I want to get in the castle, period, the end. Now, here's why I would choose dinner over lunch. I love fireworks. I've seen the fireworks. I would love and adore to see the fireworks from inside Cinderella's castle. So I would try to time my dinner where I could be eating hopefully by a window or somewhere I can see out the window very clearly during the fireworks show and eat from inside the castle watching the fireworks outside the castle. Now, there's a caveat to that. I cry every time I hear the song. I get goosebumps. When I watch a video, I cry. Happily Ever After. When they took it away, I cried. I was so sad. I could not bring myself to watch Enchantment. I never have watched a video of Enchantment. I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I was so in love with Happily Ever After. And I just couldn't watch that Enchantment. And I thought, okay, well, if this is going to be what it is, I need to just save it and watch it when I'm at the park. And then I'm going to get the feels and it's going to be okay. They just announced Happily Ever After is coming back. So I don't even have to worry about Enchantment. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. So that's the caveat to it. Caveat, however you say that word. At some point, I'm going to have to watch the fireworks on Main Street. So I'm definitely going to be in Magic Kingdom multiple days. My perfect day is going to include fireworks one way or another. So if it's not eating at Cinderella's Royal Table, we ate Be Our Guest for lunch. We had a lot of snacks in the afternoon. We're not eating dinner. We are going to stand on Main Street and watch Happily Ever After. We've watched it from multiple places. One being the hub, like the grass just outside the hub. That was really probably the best spot, other than there were really rude people that put their kids on their shoulders and then my kids couldn't see, who were too big to go on our shoulders. That's frustrating. We've watched it from the bridge between the hub and Tomorrowland. That was really pretty. We actually were on the Tomorrowland Speedway when they started, so we saw some from there. And then once we got off the Speedway, we sat on the bridge and watched from there, and that was a really pretty spot. Dare to say, but it's a little bit iffy, my favorite place to watch the fireworks is from the flagpole area. We actually were on the back side, so closer to the train station, like almost out of the park, like one of the furthest away down Main Street you could be. But here is why. It's a huge like fat flower bed planter thing with the pole in the middle. Was that the flagpole or was it just flowers? It's in that area. You'll see it on my vlog. But it was, you had no one standing directly in front of you. And so, you know, if someone's directly in front of you, your line of sight is very skewed. But because there was all that room in front of us before there were people, we had a beautiful view of the fireworks and all of Main Street. I'd say that's the one thing about Enchantment is that they brought it down Main Street, but I almost bet that they're gonna like tweak Happily Ever After to include that. So that would literally be the best place to watch fireworks from, especially if you have decent eyesight. I have terrible eyesight, and I was still able to see the projections decently on the castle. Part of it is because I have watched them like a million times on YouTube. I had already seen it in person a couple of times. And so when we had that vantage point, I still knew what was going on. Beautiful view of the fireworks in the sky. So I definitely recommend that spot. Don't give it up to everybody because we don't want it taken. You know what I'm saying? So my night will definitely have to it's not over yet, but include watching the fireworks from somewhere. I have yet to watch them behind the castle, which I've also heard is pretty cool. So there's still time. Okay, then after fireworks, everybody's leaving the park. They're taking their kids out of there. They're getting home. They're going back to the resorts because they're now tired. You go get in line. That is what we are doing. We are going to go get in line at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. As long as you get in the line before the park closes, you can stand in line for an hour if you need to, however long it takes. So we had time to go get a snack and go get in line. And I don't know if it's opened back up yet or not to be able to do so. But at that point, you were able to eat in line. Like I know during COVID, you couldn't eat or drink in line because you had to have your mask on and stuff. I think it's opened back up. So go get a snack and a drink and get in line. And then by the time you get through that hour-long line after the park closes, mind you, you've already consumed your eat and drink and you're in the park after the park closes, you know? And so Why Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at night? It's beautiful at night, and you have a beautiful view of the castle all lit up while you're kind of standing in the queue once you weave back and forth, and while you're on the attraction. So Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at night when the park closes is probably my favorite over riding it during the day. It was just really, I don't know, I loved it. I loved it. And so again, you're not wasting an hour park time standing in line. You're doing it after the park closes. So then the piece de la resistance. You were in the park super early before the park opened. Now you're in the park super late after the park closes. We're exhausted, guys. I get it. Totally get it. We were there 16 hours that day, and I had how old were my kids? 12 and 9, I think, something like that. They were troopers. So if you got little kids, I'm not telling you to do this, but our perfect day, because now my kids are, by the time we go again, are going to be 16 and 13, probably, something to that effect. And so we're going to be able to go all day, every day. Okay, speaking of those kids, one of them just got home, so I had to go see what the dogs were barking at. Okay, so now you're in the park super late after it closes. Y'all, there's nobody there. Like, it is so peaceful and beautiful, and the twinkle lights that are in the trees on Main Street, and the castle is lit up and changing colors, and it is just so precious. It is a perfect time to take pictures. There were PhotoPass photographers still out there when we were there on our second trip that late at night. And highly recommend, if you can handle it, highly recommend staying all day long. Now, I know it's a long day. Not everyone can do that. A lot of people recommend going back to your resort and taking a rest during the day. Sure, if that's what you want to do, go for it. It is your vacation. My perfect day, I don't know, the older I get, that nap sounds pretty darn good to me. So we might be taking advantage of that in future trips, but that's it. I hope I covered all the things I wanted to cover. Again, I hardly looked at my list. Let me just do a quick, yep. Yes, I think I got everything. So those are all the things that I want to do on my perfect day in the Magic Kingdom. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It may be kind of silly to some of you. Maybe it gave you some inspiration or some just information for your trip. I know I have one of my YouTube friends fixing to take a trip, and so she was really my inspiration for this. She asked if Be Our Guest was worth it. I definitely agree that it is worth it. I didn't even talk about the food at lunch. Delicious. So good. I cannot remember the food that I got. I could, if I saw the menu, I could tell you what it was. I'm really sorry that I did not do that. But everything we have tried, I think we all got something different and tried each other's, and everything was so delicious. So yes, the food at Be Our Guest is worth it. The price is a little bit high, but again, you're eating in Beast Castle. You have a sit-down meal. You're in the air conditioning. So you know, you've got your trade-offs there, price, but the food is really good, and you're in the Beast Castle. So it's what you value the most. It really is. Do you want the experience, or do you want to save money? Because there are really good options if you want to save money, but if you want the experience, go for it. Definitely recommend it. Okay. Now I'm going to wrap this one up. So thank you guys so much for coming along on this perfect day in the Magic Kingdom with me. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give me a big thumbs up. If you're newly watching this, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and join my YouTube family. And of course, you're going to want to turn on your notifications so you don't miss the rest of this series, My Perfect Day In, and I'm going to cover all the rest of the parks. So thank y'all so much for coming along with me today. I love you so much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.